Hey Facebook friends, I'm Susan May. I'm coming to you here live again from my personal profile. Maybe you are also a Rise Up Visionary that follows me over on my business page, and you are a fellow medical freedom advocate. Maybe you're just a friend just checking out what crazy Susan's up to. But whoever you are, I'm glad that you are here. And my goal is always to share with you and to guide you to get onto a path to feeling more confident, calm, and connected. And I keep mixing those words up. I think I actually wanted to say connected, calm, and confident. So there you go. So that is the Rise Up vision, to support medical freedom advocates. And yesterday, I spoke briefly about some worries I've had over the past couple of years with my 16-year-old daughter's mental health, and specifically worrying about her feeling depressed. And so today I wanted to share with you what I think are the top 5 ways that I've been able to support her through that, because she is feeling much better today. I think she would tell you that. Of course, she has her up and down days just like we all do. But overall, I would say she would tell you that she's not feeling depressed. I would also want you to know that she has given me permission to share this. I try to check in with her and kind of give her an idea of what I'm going to be sharing. But as I move forward and I'm really focusing on supporting parents specifically, I am going to be sharing more about my kids, and my daughter is quite private about what she shares online. So it's important for me to get that permission from her. So I'm going to quickly list the 5 ways, and then I'm going to go back into more detail. So the number 1 way that I have supported her is by listening. And I know that this may be a challenge for some parents whose kids just don't talk to them, and so I don't have that particular challenge. So I'm going to go into that when I dig into that more. But number 1, listening. Number 2, I supported her need for more activity and more structure in her life. Number 3, I supported her social needs in any way I could, especially after we moved. It'll be almost 2 years ago. We moved in January of 2021. Number 4, by taking care of my own stuff, things that I need to take care of internally, my mental health, my emotional health, not putting things onto her, and not reacting in ways, I'm going to get more into that, that would make things worse. And number 5 is knowing and recognizing that this is an ongoing process in her growing up, and it's going to be ever evolving. So it's not something that I'm done with ever, or that she's done with, or that we reach a place in our relationship and don't have to deal with it. Okay, so number 1, listening. Marisol is like me in that she needs to process verbally with people. She's always been a talker. She's always been very verbal. And not only that, but she and I have a very, very, very close relationship. How many berries was that? 1, 2, 3, I think. We have been super close since the day she was born, all through toddler years, through her young childhood years, and now into her teenage years. So I am very, very, very fortunate that she feels comfortable talking to me, that she wants to talk to me, and that we do that regularly. So it's a habit of ours. So I realized that this is probably one of the first stumbling blocks for a lot of families, especially with teens. Because I will tell you, my second child, who's 13, does not talk to me like that. So I do understand that not everyone has that. So my quick suggestions, I can't solve this in a really quick video, and I want to keep moving along here, but I think if you have a child like that who isn't open with you, or you don't have that kind of relationship, it's really important to start to find ways to connect with your child that are fun for you, to just find something to do together. So it's low pressure, so it's not like, hey, I want to talk about this big heavy thing, or like you're always just probing, asking questions. Are you okay? Do you need to talk? I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying to your child, like, I want you to know you can come to me with anything. And I think that plants seeds. So if that's not something you've said to your child, I would encourage you to do that. You know, if you ever need to talk, I want you to be able to talk to me, of course. But if you know your kid's personality and your relationship isn't in that way, then you're going to have to do some work to get to that point where your child comes to you. And I think the other thing is like making those low pressure situations. One place that Marisol and I talk every week is in the car when I pick her up from the gym, whether she's been working or going to practice for gymnastics, and she talks my ear off the whole way home. And that is a great place, especially for boys, to talk. When you're sitting side by side, it doesn't feel so intense. You're not like looking at each other. And so that is a great place to get kids to talk, is in car rides. Number 2, supporting her need for more activity and structure. So obviously with 2020, things came to a screeching halt, and then, you know, we moved, and so there was kind of a building back up to being in a more active state of going out and doing things. And not only that, but our youngest child, her littlest brother, is autistic. And so our family has like gotten used to really staying home for a lot of things, and her middle brother never wants to go out. So the first thing we did when we moved here is I found her a gym. Now that was a rough transition. It didn't just like immediately fulfill a need at all. Like, she missed her old gym, she missed her teammates, she missed her coaches. She didn't know if she wanted to continue here. There were a lot of ups and downs. And again, that's where the listening came in. And my daughter has taught me from the time she was little to stop trying to solve her problems. And I'm not saying I don't still do it sometimes, but I have gotten so much better, I would say, in the past 5 years, because even when she was little, she would just get frustrated with me. And so I have learned she really just needs me to be an active listener, and she will usually come up with solutions on her own. So gymnastics was one thing. She does math with my mom. My daughter does math with my mom, who was a math teacher for 25 years, twice a week. And then we also were working towards getting her permit, and we took our time. We are slow. That's how my family is. But we did it, and we finally got her permit. We went through all the steps, and so we started practicing driving. And so just adding those things in. And number 3 was her social needs. About a year ago, I had to pivot. A little over a year ago, it was like August, September of 2021. We had been here in Florida for about 6 months, and I had been starting to make these friends, medical freedom minded friends, but all their kids were little. There were no teenagers, and I realized how important it was for me to try and seek out some teens for my kids to hang out with. And thankfully, we have just connected with these group of families, moms and kids that homeschool, who are also medical freedom minded, and been connecting with them regularly. Like almost every week we get together, we do different things. We do D&D, that's Dungeons and Dragons. The kids like to play. We go to parks, we go to trampoline parks, we have birthday parties, and that took a while to nurture, you know, because kids take, especially when they're teens, they take time to really just connect with each other, and now that is going really well. And the bonus is that my son Jerry loves this friend group too, and so that was part social need, but also it has added more structure and activity to our lives, all of our lives. And was there anything else I wanted to say about that? Oh, the other thing is that Marisol has had a great connection with some of her gymnastics teammates. She made one of the best friends that she's ever had, which has been so good for my heart to see her just connecting with another young woman on such a deep level. They just really love each other. So number 4 was taking care of my own stuff. And by that, I mean any guilt I felt like that I was failing her, I had to really like consciously let go of that and focus on the moment, not look back on all the things I thought I should have done, and just really be with her and look, what can I do now? I believe there's 2 kinds of guilt, and that's going to be another video. But basically, there's a kind of guilt that you should listen to and a kind that you shouldn't. But in the end, you want to really be able to let go of guilt and just move forward and do what you can do now. Um, the other thing is I really had to listen to her and not feel like my work is done here. I did what I needed to do. And what I mean by that is that there were a couple times when I felt like things were going great. I thought, oh my gosh, she's doing amazing. She's doing this, she's doing that, she's doing this. She's, she really has tried to ramp up her quote academic schedule on her own. She loves learning. She loves listening to books. She loves learning about the Constitution and politics, and there's just so many things. So I was feeling great and thinking, man, I did it. I helped her get over this hump. And she would come to me and be like, oh, what am I doing with my life? That's her line. What am I doing with my life? And I'd be like, oh no, you're feeling that way again. And so I would realize she needed more. She needed more listening. She needed more support. She needed with her schedule and with her motivation. And it was so, so important for me not to get impatient or act annoyed or, be like, what the heck? I've done all these things for you, or to not get discouraged and to just realize, okay, it's okay. We just have to talk this out and figure out what do you need now. And so that feeds into the number 5. This is an ongoing process, just like all the good things in life, our own motivation, our own self-care, whether it's physical health, mental health, emotional health. These are things we have to do over and over and over, and we have to get into habits. And same thing with our children. We have to help them get into those habits. We have to get into good relationship habits with them. So I hope this is helpful for you all. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I am still having free, imperfect, peaceful parenting sessions, one-on-one with me for half an hour. I'm going to put the link in the comments for you to sign up. And the reason I'm calling them imperfect is because there's no such thing as perfect. And I have really had to learn that lesson over and over on my parenting journey as a recovering perfectionist. And it feels good to realize, hey, I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best. And my kids love me a lot when I just keep trying. And I know that will feel good for you too. So peaceful parenting, I got my peace sign today, has always been my thing. You will know when you feel more peace, when your kids feel more peace. People will comment on your house. Like, I just like coming to your house because it's welcoming here. It feels calm. It feels peaceful. It's the best compliment in the world. So I'd love to help you get on that path too. So sign up in the link below and let me know your thoughts. Remember, be bold, be brave, be you, because who else is there to be? I will be back soon with some tips for parents of littles because I want to share more about our path. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.